Ready to do this?
Oh, I'm all excited. First time this year with the bow. Let's do her.
That's awesome. What are you hunting with?
10-pointer.
Nice.
Crossbow. I love it. Did you need that?
No, I'll jump under this light here. Okay.
Sorry about that. I didn't think about
No,
it.
all good.
I don't want to waste anything.
Alright, well, it's the first morning. We got up early, had some nice cup of coffee, lots of deer stories shared in camp, and now we're heading out for our first hunt. We're going to hunt the ground this morning. Alright, well, good morning. I'm all set up here. Deer cross here like crazy. Just gonna sit here for a couple hours, see what's moving through. We got about a 3-mile stretch here. And we got each one of us guys along this stretch from one end of the property all the way to the other. This couple hour set this morning should really enable us to kind of get a quick pulse on where the deer are moving through on this property. One thing we know is they're moving through all over the place, but we're really looking for more of the heavy concentrated areas. It's the whole, 80-20 deal. You got 20% of the property where the heaviest concentration of deer is. That's where we want to spend 100% of our time. This is a private road that runs through the property from one end all the way to the other. I think John said about 3.5 or 4 miles. It's really thick along this edge. So I'm kind of buried in here in the thick stuff, so I got a good backdrop behind me. Shouldn't have much issue with, my outline or silhouette. It's very, very warm down here compared to Michigan. The trees and the terrain is also different. It kind of feels extra adventurous that way. It's definitely different than our traditional Michigan hunting. Alright, quick little update here. So I talked to my brother Chris, and he saw a doe at first light. I think that's all he's seen so far. I talked to John, and he said right out of the gate, his chair collapsed when he sat on it. So I'm not sure how he's making do. Probably sitting on his knees this morning. I've seen a gray squirrel, and then I can't believe it, but there's actually blue jays down here as well. That's pretty much my most greatly hated bird in the United States, is the blue jay. So blue jay came through with its typical annoying cackle that they do. Saw gray squirrel. That's it so far. It's actually nice and cool in this spot. So I think we're going to hunt a little bit longer here and then probably grab a little lunch and do some more scouting. Get a plan together for this evening. We'll see what happens. Alright, well, that was the first set. Yeah, nobody got a deer down yet. Saw some deer. I didn't yet, but tonight will be a new fresh hunt. So we're gonna go grab some breakfast and go do a little bit of scout, get some stands set. We'll be back at it again this evening. Can't wait. Okay, good afternoon. It's Wednesday, October 13th. And this is my first
gas station. I got past the camp there in Willow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, on the way, and I had already.
So this is our second morning here at camp. We decided to strike off out into the woods here and do some scouting, do some stand tweaking, looking for the freshest sign that we can possibly find. So we're over here by the creek. The ground's much softer. It's a lot easier to kind of pick up the tracks. Make some kind of determination how much deer activity actually is moving through here. Acorns are dropping definitely in this area. So we got food and water, and it's plenty thick too. So banking on the fact that something should be happening over here. So we'll do a stand tweak and some camera hanging. See what happens.
Spud across the road 2 mornings. I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Feeder number 4, big one. Man, I ran through so many spider webs just now. I had one big one on me. I probably looked like a little girl kicking it off.
Okay, so we just went out and did a bunch of scouting today for where we plan to be in a day and a half, which is potentially muzzleloader hunting. The muzzleloader opener here in Arkansas is Saturday morning, and the temp here is going to drop significantly, like lows actually in the 40s. It's been very, very hot here since we've gotten here. Highs in the mid 80s, upper 80s, lows mid 60s, 70s, somewhere in there, which is definitely relief. But oh boy, yeah.
Stand on that side, I'm not going to put more on.
You need a hand? Yeah. So yeah, we got this temp drop coming, and these other spots that we got set up for muzzleloader. There's some definitely significant deer sign. So this is some huge territory here. So it's been a bit of a challenge to find out where there's any sort of deer concentration. There must be a ton of natural food out there yet. I'm thinking definitely feels like the deer can just be anywhere. I better go. Okay, so day 2, we're thinking about day 4 for the opener of the Arkansas muzzleloader season. We're getting these stands all set up for Saturday morning. We're expecting the wind to switch from the south over to the north and be temperatures of 30 to 40 degrees cooler than it has been since we've gotten here. Super exciting. So these Michigan and Wisconsin people, colder weather, we welcome it. Anyways, we expect good things. We think we'll be seeing a lot more deer movement. It's been very slow since we've gotten here. But hey, sometimes that's hunting, right? So we'll see what happens. Alright, it's October 14th, afternoon hunt. This morning we went and moved some stands around and got things set up for just trying to think ahead and anticipate the opener for the Arkansas muzzleloader that opens on Saturday morning. Switch stands this afternoon to this particular stand overlooking a field. There's a ton of cover surrounding it. I suspect there are some deer bedded nearby. Hoping for good things this afternoon. Just really enjoying this trip and this time out in the woods. So we'll see what happens. Day 2. Nada.
Yeah, man.
Goddamn it, be quiet a minute. Dumped some of them damn shrimp in that beer. She said, "Man, can I try one of them?" I said, "Yeah, try one of them."
That's at 81.
Black powder stuff, Johnny.
If you look at that damn tree right there, about just right there for that first knot, there's a
That
damn
brown thing?
brown hole.
Yeah.
Them son of a bitches go in the ground and they hatch off about every 7 years. They crawl out and climb up there and that damn hole, a crack on his back, and first thing comes out will be his damn wing.
That's an ugly critter.
He'll crawl out of that damn hole and fly.
Alright, well, it is day 3, and John is getting the deer fetcher all resurrected for next couple days, anticipating some rain, which makes a lot of these roads pretty much impassable unless you get something ready to roll and rock like that. Yeah, so muzzleloader opens tomorrow morning. Super excited about that. We'll get out this evening for one final bow hunt. Hoping for good things. Deer activity has definitely been way on the low side compared to I guess what they're used to here. So we're just kind of hoping things will change. We're really moving around our stand sets quite a bit to try and get into the deer. But even the trail cameras and that are not overly full of activity. So with the temp dropping down in the 40s soon here, hopefully that'll change things quite a bit.
If not, we'll still be getting out there and getting after it and giving it our best. So yeah, we'll get them. We'll get them. So yeah, it'll be nice to get that thing in action. Last night I know my truck got stuck. Thankfully it didn't take anything really to get it out of there, but just a nice quick tug with the chain and it was ready to roll. So yeah, hopefully we'll start bagging some deer here soon and have some of that kind of action to show you. Just having an awesome time here in deer camp though. Great camaraderie, you know, isn't that what makes deer camp so much fun? Lots of good food, of course. We had a fish fry last night. It was wonderful. Had some those blue cats. Really tasty. So yeah, good times.
It's a roar all the goddamn time. And most of these, where they just hatch off one and there'll be another hatch off, and you know, every now and then.
Fire in a hole. Bang! Dead bag?
God damn it, did you not hit the sack?
No, it's just that fly was on the top of the bag. Took the wings off. I'm gonna go get the fly.
Possible the bag is
Bring the
flipping
fly back.
off right now.
Alright, it is the evening on October 15th. We are heading out for our final bow hunt for the Arkansas 2021 trip. Tomorrow morning is the Arkansas muzzleloader opener. We are super excited for that. It's starting to rain right now, and so we got the deer hauling machine there, old Jeep Cherokee, back on its wheels again, because evidently these roads get very treacherous when it rains, and so we'll have that as a key vehicle to get us in and out of this place. Good times.
And when he says treacherous, there's places along the main road, and I mean main road, where there's 5-foot ditches in the road where they're just washed away. So yeah, the side roads are presumably much worse.
Buddy,
Hey.
I'm wet. How about you? Oh no, you've been sitting stuck the whole time. Yeah, Harry, it's the Rockies.
Someone's got to take it for the team, right? It's a little moist out there.
It looks like it's just
A little pocket?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to last that long. It looks like there may be another small one after that. But right here, stop, is now, and we are right about in there, in that center one. That's about it, so it shouldn't be.
So what he's saying right now is we're right in the storm
I am saying
out.
that there is a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I'll read you.
What's all that 1 in a million talk?
That was fun.
Alright, good evening. It's October 15th, afternoon. This is our final archery hunt here in Arkansas. Hunting the ground. The wind this afternoon is switching from the south to the west, all the way to the north by evening. So sitting this spot in the ground is playing the wind just right for this trail system. I have yet to see a deer while hunting. I know they're here. See plenty of tracks. It's just been incredibly challenging to get onto them. Almost feels like hunting. Anyways, incredibly grateful to be here and have this time with the guys, and hoping for good things this evening. Tomorrow morning, of course, is the muzzleload opener. Super excited for that. Yeah, we'll see what happens this evening. Hopefully, we can put some deer down. It's time. We're overdue. Let's do this. See ya.
Gotta make bacon grease to cook the green beans. That's really the only reason we're making the bacon. I mean, what could we do? We had to make the veggies. So, hey.
Arkansas muzzleloader.
3 days of rough bow hunting.
Yep.
You haven't seen anything, which is really, I take personally. You had a shot at the title and launched it. Jimmy got busted by every deer he saw. So it was a rough 3 days.
It has been a rough few days, but all season hunters, we've all had rough days in the past.
Yeah.
You were just going to mention something?
Well, it's only been 3 days. You know, I mean, how
Right.
often you hunt at home in really good, the best conditions, best turf, and
True.
how often you kill in 3 days?
Right.
But we're going out with the smoke poles tomorrow, which completely different scenario, you know. And that has been 85 degrees.
Yeah, with like 4,000% humidity.
Exactly.
I could breathe underwater.
And it's dropped probably, what, 20 degrees already? I think it's low 60s. No, it's actually the 50s, I believe.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be in the 40s tonight. Tomorrow should be popping.
Yeah, we've had pretty much nothing but south winds, and it kind of went to the west, and now the north.
Yep.
And Sunday night, I think back to the south again. But so you kind of got like a Team Wisconsin, Team Michigan here, down in Arkansas with Team really hotter than heck out here. But we're making the most of it. We haven't quite melted yet, but we're just having a... Go ahead.
Camp face of the sun.
Pretty much. Yeah. close.
Man, we sure appreciate you inviting us down to chill and hang out and hunt with you guys this week. It's just been a fantastic time, and we're just over the halfway point. And we got some making up to do in the next couple days to get some deer down. But as far as good times in camp and camaraderie and the good meals and all that fun stuff, scouting, setting stands, that kind of stuff, we got most of that under our belt now. Now we just got to get some deer hanging, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow, I'm sure there's going to be something dying.
We've got to.
There should. Well, I don't want to bring that up again. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but
I'll have you left.
What, the part that he missed the deer, or he got his brother's truck stuck yesterday? What are you bringing up?
Gloves are off, man.
Rough.
I guess you got 2 strikes against you, right? You got to really come through tomorrow.
2 knockout punches for Team Wisconsin right away.
I don't remember Team Wisconsin being a part of either of those, other than pulling us out.
Exactly.
Yes. Got stuck last night. Yes. Missed a deer today. But I got it on film and I have proof. The other guys just have stories of things that went wrong, but no evidence. So.
Oh, you probably got film of yourself pulling back on those couple of does.
I don't have it actually pulling back because I only have the one angle. So I'm a newbie, not like you seasoned professionals. So I got the deer. I mean, they're there. And I should have just took the first one and been happy with it. But it's like, ooh, that one's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So you might have got 5 pounds more meat out of it, so that...
It adds a lot of challenge, all of it. Filming, trying to get all that
together.
And we were talking about that earlier tonight. In my case, where I was set up, there really was one available place. And so I had the camera between me and where the deer were going to come in and had to kind of make the shot around it. And so this doe came in, and you'll see it on the video, but I have to reach up and turn the camera on, and as I do, she just sees enough motion that she just got spooky. She didn't see me. She didn't know what she didn't like, but something wasn't right. And so, we played this game for a while, and I won, and she committed, and she came the rest of the way in, but she still wasn't totally easy. So I'm like, I know I'm on a time clock at this point. She's not going to tolerate it much longer. The other 2 are starting to take, the cues from her. And I took a shot and missed her, shot over her back. But it was a clean miss. I'm glad for that. But I missed nonetheless.
Yeah, we've been incredibly grateful that, these guys got down here a couple days before us. They've got 5 to 6 years experience already hunting down in Arkansas and kind of understand a bit more lay land, certainly more than we do. We're totally newbies here. In fact, these guys let us kind of arrive and use their stand sets and locations is incredibly generous. They didn't have to do that. I'll admit it's been tough. Just the scouting that we've been doing, the cover and the terrain here is so thick. There's so much food options, a little bit different than back home where you got the frost and the berries and the fruits disappear quickly. That's not the case here. There's a lot of natural food, so it's not as easy as you would just throw some bait out and you're just gonna get a slam dunk kind of deal. Then on top of that, there's such a variety of oaks, and there's so many of them, so it's not like, you're just gonna find this one ridge that's producing acorns. It's just everywhere, and it's very abundant. So it's definitely been a challenge where maybe during the gun season you guys have experienced probably by then the frosts have occurred and those kinds of things. Some of the natural foods have probably dried up, plus you got the love in the air aspect, so the deer are going to be on their feet, bucks searching for does, that kind of thing. So you at least are maybe encountering more deer. You can shoot further away, so you have to be in so tight and close so you can watch. That's probably
that's a big part of it.
Thing, right?
Right, because obviously with a bull, you don't need to be watching a old clear cut or a road or something like that. I mean, you're just in those little transitions or your little patch of oaks on the river bottom where you're only seeing 50 yards for say.
Yeah.
And with the rifle, you might as well get to where you can shoot down these old roads for hundreds of yards. And when, like you said, when the love's in the air especially, I mean, obviously that's everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, it picks up, but it really means a lot here because, as you mentioned, the cover. There's so much cover. I mean, out of the lease we have, it's like 2,500 acres. I don't know for sure what the acreage is of just solid cover, these pine thickets and whatever, but I'd be willing to bet half is, within the last 5 years, it's been logged and then clear cut and then replanted. In all those replanted areas, it's all, greenbrier and honeysuckle and all the grasses and all the berries. I mean, it's just so much food. And there's water everywhere too, so you can't rely on that. It's been dry, and typically if it wasn't, if there was only one water source, it's like, I'm going to go hunt over there. Well, there's one over there, and there's one over there, and there's one over there, and there's seeps even on the hill, that spot where you hunted opening morning. We walked in behind there. First day we were here bow hunting. It's a high hill. I was amazed at the water standing and seeping out of the hill. I'm like, well, it's not even a creek bottom. It's not even close, but there's just water. So, I mean, you got tons of food, tons of water, tons of cover. They don't have to move until the love is in the air. When they start getting fired up for that, then it's crazy. I mean, it's like a whole different.
A little bit of buck sign, but it's very different than Midwest.
Absolutely.
Stuff.
It changed. Like I said, it changes. I mean, it's real soon, and even maybe it's going to be what, a 20 degree swing from what it's been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least.
Just over, you can feel it right now. I'm wearing a sweatshirt. Last night we were sitting here sweating, and it's chilly. Yep. I hate to say that because I don't. You're sitting there.
I'm different.
Shorts and flip flops, but it's. I think that's going to make a lot of difference for tomorrow. I really do.
Yeah.
Hoping.
Yeah. I think you guys mentioned too the difference though of where we're used to be able to plan that you're going to set up between that cover and feed. And they don't have to leave it. There's plenty of food in that cover, and I think there may be a lot more buck sign than even what we're seeing because that's in the cover too. There's just so much everywhere. They don't have to go search for food sources.
No, and you guys, I know from watching all your spectacular videos, you guys know what you're talking about. You've hunted a lot. There's just those bigger, especially the bigger deer that you would like to harvest, they don't move. They move very little until the love is in the air.
Yeah.
And then,
especially when it's 90 degrees.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Almost 100% humidity.
Why would that deer leave that thicket? And even these thickets, pine cuts, have those giant white oaks scattered through them. They're dropping acorns. There's all those grasses and berries and honeysuckle and greenbrier in there. There's no reason to leave.
They don't need to leave.
There's no point in leaving.
Yep.
There's 0 point in leaving that.
Yep.
And just like that, though, it'll flick a switch and it'll be crazy.
Yeah. What's key about shooting a hog down there?
What do you mean as far as what's key?
Well, so we've got 2 days in. We haven't seen any. We haven't been hunting them actively, but we certainly would be opportunists. My understanding is you can hunt them 24/7, 365.
Yeah, if I was just here to hog hunt, I'd do one of two things. Either be set up for night hunting, because we check cameras and they're in those baits at night a lot.
Yep.
Or I would go still hunt all those creek bottoms. Okay. And walk the roads and stuff, because they're a very nocturnal animal as well, but they still move around a lot in the daytime. But they're close to those pine thickets and the creek bottoms where you have some areas of thick cover and all the acorns and and water or whatever. I'd move around if I wasn't hunting that night.
Sure. So how cool is that? You know, we get an invite to come hang out with you guys in camp, kind of get the tour and see the lay of the land of things. You introduce us to everything. $180 for 5 days. Non-resident can show up. Wisconsin hunter, Michigan hunter, doesn't matter. Come down here. They pay. Go to Walmart or whatever. Buy that non-resident 5-day tag. $180. They can shoot 3 deer, buck and 2 does. Bucks need to have 3 or more on a side, which is great. And if you have an opportunity to hog, you can shoot a hog. I mean, that's a lot of bang for your buck, really.
Well, yeah, and I've had a number of guys contact me about just coming hog hunting, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of hogs around, but you got to make it you got to come down with the intention of deer hunting as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you're just going to solely say, I want to hog hunt, there's better places to go.
Yeah.
You know, there is.
Yep.
I will say the amount of country we've covered, though, bring a GPS or 2. It's a big country.
It is.
You think we're used to the big woods up north, and you kind of get comfortable in your area, and you get comfortable in what your landmarks and what to watch for, and then you come down to an area like this, and I don't know, maybe it's just ignorance on my part. I wasn't prepared for the vastness of the land. It's amazing, and the cover is far thicker in a lot of cases than anything I've ever seen in the Northwoods. It's the some of the footage I have where it's literally just hanging with it's like the woods is woven together. It's crazy.
It's the thickest place I've ever hunted.
Yeah, absolutely. It is.
Thickest place I've ever hunted.
You like to track. I've learned it about you now, and that's one of the things I enjoy about you, because I love to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, you think of tracking up north. You're on a track all day long. It's like, all right, GPS, Onyx Hunt, whatever you use. Like my truck's back that way 3 miles or whatever. I'll pretty much walk a straight line in that, other than a swamp or whatever.
Away or something, but
here you can't do that. You cannot walk through those pine thickets. It's absolutely not going to happen, because everything's got a thorn on it. And what you just mentioned, it's just like this. You can't get through it.
Plus, there's everything here to kill you. How many snakes and spiders are? That's pretty much the worst environment imaginable.
Yeah, I'm doing a little research before I come down here, and I do a quick Google search on, venomous snakes, and, good news, there's only 12 in the state, and who knows on spiders. That's not that bad. I mean,
some of the spiders and things that we see here, it's just astonishing to me, the variation of them. I mean, we just don't see that much back home, which I am grateful for. Thank God for frost.
Yeah.
Trucking down the logging roads on the way back here tonight, ended up whacking a copperhead, and that was crazy. Never seen one of them up and personal like that.
I was surprised you did. Like I said, I've been down here for 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it's been.
Yep.
And I've seen a few snakes, but very few. I really, Uncle Dave, I don't know if you got any interaction on the
little bit of footage.
That guy he's a snake charmer, and he loves them. You catch them, and if they're on the road, he'll go pick them up, or he'll herd them off the road so it doesn't get ran over.
Yeah.
Each their own, I guess, but it's kind of creepy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snakes are and spiders in particular are perfect excuse to burn a house down.
I agree. I'm sure you got some footage of some of those ugly yellow. Well, you got that one on Jimmy's 4-wheeler.
The spiders.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Daddy longleggers that are that big with their legs on it. They're just amazing. I know I got some footage of that. They're huge.
Half the fun is us shuffling between stands and all the off-roading and stuff, because it just brings me back to my high school days and just going for it. But as we're hauling down the logging roads and the 2 tracks, these spiders, I mean, if you take their whole web down within hours, maybe even less than that, it's all back again. And so you wouldn't want to just go down these logging roads face first or something. You're just gonna get some serious arachnids all over your face, right?
I know in the fall normally when I bush hog the roads, I put the bucket way up on the tractor. Because of the same thing, you're trying to watch the bush hogs, so, you know, keep it so you're not shear pin and whatever.
Yeah.
But there's so many spiders hanging in the roads, because the roads are pretty tight in, so they're really... So you gotta have something in front of you.
Yep.
Like when we were riding around on the four-wheeler, I grabbed a stick, and I was driving, Jimmy was riding behind me.
Jousting.
And yeah, exactly, that's what he said. And I was holding a stick while I was driving, just knocking out all the spiders before we got to them. Because I don't want one of those on my face, I really don't.
It caught me off guard, not only how many different types, but how huge they are. There's very huge spiders down here.
So these guys are, you know, home to them is Wisconsin, but they're very tight with the whole Upperland and UP and hunting and deer camp in the UP, and of course you got this set up with family down here in Arkansas. But you know, you got some footage of an armadillo the other night, and just kind of everything from your viewpoint and your cameras. So if you want to see additional footage to this whole episode, make sure you go over to your YouTube channel, which is
Snowbelt Custom Outfitters, but
Outfitters.
I want to stress again, I know we talked about this earlier, like the first night I think it was.
Yep.
This is not guiding, outfitting whatsoever.
No.
Jimmy and I got a bear camp
Yep.
up in northern Wisconsin. That's what we do. This here is just take a couple groups of paid guests
Yep.
every year, and that's it, you know, or invited.
Yep.
Like I said, I watched your guys'. I found you guys on YouTube, and watched all your stuff. It's like, these guys got it going on, you know. I like, just you seemed cool, and I reached out to Ben. So let's go hunting.
Together. Yeah. I'm so glad you did.
I think that's actually the subject of the email. Let's go hunting. I
Probably.
was just looking through.
I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
That's hunt. I think it was.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, because I had a gentleman from Alabama and another one from, I think, somewhere in the Carolinas anyways, and it kind of really, your initial reach out was really kind of inspired us of, we'd like to maybe go to several deer
I
camps.
would, yeah, absolutely.
Kind of do a deer camp tour kind of thing, and just kind of highlight what they got going on, because we all have so many things in common, yet we all have just little things that we do different, but we can learn from each other, right? And just different things like we're talking about today with water collection systems or whatever. I mean, this cooking shack that you guys have here is just awesome. You know, that's something that'd be really cool to have at camp. Other than a bear would probably rip it to shreds, but
Try anyway.
right. But,
Yeah, I would say you should definitely take up, you know, some of those other offers too, because I mean, what you just described on the different things you experienced here, and the different spiders and snakes and whatever else, in a different terrain.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's like I always say, you only get so many seasons, you only get so many opening days, so
yeah.
go enjoy them. You know, go check out different turf and see how other people do it across the country. You know, because it is, ultimately, it's all this, when you get right down to the bare bones, it's the same. It's deer camp, you know.
Yeah.
But 85 in South Arkansas, an hour from the Louisiana border, to UP deer camp, completely different things.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that 30 below and warning, you know, it's a little different.
You're sitting in a stand like, man, I got to sit here a little bit longer. I hope I kill that big buck. Here, it's like, oh, God, I can't take off any more clothes. It's too hot.
Deer camp in the UP, we're hanging a deer for a week. Deer camp in Arkansas, you're not hanging a deer other than to quick cut
Skin
it
it.
off.
Yeah, you hang it up to skin it. That's it.
That is it. And you know what another thing they do down here? They put the deer in ice and water. Like take a galvanized or stainless steel tank or whatever, quarter it up and throw it in cold water and put ice on it, cover it, make sure it's in the shade. And then every day just drain that water off and put new water in it, throw some more ice in it, and they'll do that for 3, 4, 5 days.
Okay.
So it's basically like aging it,
Yep.
and it keeps it. I thought when they first told me that, my brother-in-law, the first time I came down here, and we shot a couple deer, he said, "This is what we're going to do." I'm like, "You put it in water? How is that going to work?" But it was fine.
They're still kicking, so evidently.
Right?
Evidently won't
We
kill
died.
you. Yep.
Yeah, I think it was so cool, like to see the different aspects of how a different deer camp from a completely different part of the country does it, and for us, we do lots of different meals and things that we can, but here, John's uncle cooked us a fish fry last night. It was unbelievable. We were in the middle of nowhere, and he whips up this fish fry that you would pay for in any restaurant in America with a smile.
Catfish, wasn't it? It was
Yeah,
cat,
it was
wasn't it?
Blue cat.
And
Yeah.
it seemed like you almost got offended. I think you asked, didn't you? What kind of fish is this?
Yeah.
He doesn't get offended.
Right.
I'm just saying, the way he talks.
Yeah.
I can't say a lot of it on how he talks. But beep, beep, yeah, that would be 90%. Beep, 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 beep. And you maybe get a "the" in between that.
Every other word.
But he's like, "That's the only fish I cook," or something like that.
Yeah. No, but like he went into quite a bit of detail too, though, about some of the work that's got to be done to prep that fish in order to be able to have
All
it
that
taste
fat
that
getting
good.
cut off. I
Trim
was
off the
amazed.
fat layer and things like
Yes.
that. Those of us that don't get an opportunity to fish blue cats all the time wouldn't know that,
No.
And so to learn from that generation, to learn from his experiences and stuff, I love that. I think that to me is one of the greatest parts about all of this.
Yeah, you look at the old boy, and you coveralls. You'd think, man, this is definitely a southern redneck. But the man knows so much about so many different things.
Yeah.
It's really surprising when you guys were talking about bees and whatever. I mean, you both were just boom, 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 and I was like,
Yeah.
damn, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't think that he would know all that stuff. You're you're into bees, you're a beekeeper, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously know it. It was surprising that.
Well, isn't that exactly the way deer camp works? We only have known them for 2 days, day and a half, 2 days. You kind of have those conversations, some campfire talk, and that kind of thing. And he's heading out today, and it's like, "Bye, Uncle Dave." It's like,
Call you
we're
at Christmas.
tight,
Yeah.
He's already talking about, if you ever come back, blah, 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 just really cool,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
the people down here are. I
Hospitable.
really like the people down here. I mean, they're just they're tough, rough, around the edges, no doubt about it. Independent is all get out.
yep.
Incredibly independent. Just, they love the woods. Just leave me alone and let me do my thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, if nothing else, here we are, like I said, you can't overstate it. We're in the middle of nowhere. And not only do you have power at this camp, which is amazing, we're not used to that, they have satellite internet at this camp. That is awesome.
Washer,
It is a good thing.
dryer,
Yeah.
Yeah, washer,
electricity.
Bathrooms.
2 bathrooms.
Yeah. This has been like the Taj Mahal to us this week. So
cooking quarters.
it's been awesome.
It's nice.
Didn't start off this way though, John.
No,
Takes time building it.
the first time Jimmy and I came down here, I think I was telling one of you guys that today or yesterday. That old camper that's sitting over here used to be on top of the hill. I don't know why they drug it down here. Kind of an eyesore, but whatever. I told Uncle Dave that I was bringing a buddy down. We were going to do some bow hunting, and he says, I'll set up the trailer for you guys. What he meant by that was he was going to set rat traps in the trailer.
Yes. Yes.
And when he
Clean it
got
out.
there, he's carrying a rat with a trap stuck to it. He's talking to us holding this rat. I'm like, hey, like I said, as long as you know what you're getting into beforehand, who cares? Jimmy and I jumped in there, and we heard rats or mice, whatever in there. It's like, it's part of the experience.
Tell you what, you check your sleeping bag every night to make sure there wasn't no copperhead or anything else
Right.
floating around in there.
After the first night here, I left my boots out on the deck. Like, your boots are sitting there, and after that, I'm like, my boots are coming inside at night.
The spiders. would-
Yeah, exactly. I come out and checked them in the morning. I'm like,
So we're going from bow hunting and looking at geckos and armadillos to tomorrow, the opener of muzzleloader season, and it's down in the 40s, lower 50s, and just super excited. Arkansas Deer Camp Tour. Stay tuned.